The Democratic Alliance, John Steenhuisen, and Gauteng leader Solly Msimanga will commemorate the lives lost in the 1976 student uprising by laying wreaths at the forgotten gravesite of the first Alexandra Uprising victim, Japie Vilankulu. SABC News reporter Yolisa and Njamela is at the old Alexandra Cemetery, and we take you to her now. Yolisa, very good morning. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Now, this is not the first time the DA is honoring Japie Vilankulu. Who is he? Just tell us about who is he, and why is the DA honoring him on this day in particular?
It's a very chilly morning here in Alexandra and north of Johannesburg. It's a very good morning indeed. Japie Vilankulu is a young man who was killed by the apartheid police on June 17, 1976. You would know that a lot of people are mostly aware of this day, which is June 16, 1976, whereby the country is, of course, commemorating this day. The DA has over the years been relentless in ensuring that this young man is honored. Vilankulu is a young man who decided, as the family tells the story, who decided on the 16th of June when he came back from work that he would not go to work the following day because of what he had heard of what was happening in Soweto. And when Hector Peterson had just been killed by the apartheid police, the sister tells the story that he told her that there is no way that as older youth, if you like, they would continue as if life is normal, and that he would garner other young people in this township of Alexandra to ensure that they go to Soweto and support the other young people. They would indeed do that the following day on the 17th of June 1976 and try to get out of this township to go to Soweto. What they did not know is that the apartheid police were already expecting them, and they were waiting on the wings of this township to ensure that they do not get out. So they garnered each other, and when they were trying to exit the township, violence ensued as the apartheid police shot at them, and he was killed on that day. Fast forward to post-apartheid democratic dispensation, the DA has been relentless in trying to ensure that he is honored. In 2016, the city of Johannesburg would indeed adopt a motion that he must be honored, and as a result there is a street, Vilankulu Crescent, here in Johannesburg. But to take this story further, we're going to speak to Nicholas Nyati, who is the DA Youth Interim Federal Leader, and he's going to tell us more why they in particular believe that this young man, out of all others, deserves that honor.
Thank you very much for having me. Today we are here to honor not only a young man, but a patriotic young man. Someone who decided that it was not about him or his family, but it was about the youth of South Africa in 1976. We're here to also try and inspire ourselves as young people. Japie Vilankulu was able to identify their struggle in 1976. So we are here today to gather strength as we face many challenges as the young people of South Africa. So today is quite significant because he inspires us. He inspires us with the notion that says, country before myself and before my organization. So we are here to gather strength from a patriot, and that's why we are here today.
I'm keen to understand though, why him? I mean, I do understand that a whole lot of political parties and even the country indeed know mostly about Hector Peterson, but there are other young people around the country who lost their lives. Post-apartheid, the DA has particularly been relentless in ensuring that Japie Vilankulu is indeed honored.
I think it's very important for us as a nation, if we want to know where we're going, to know where we're coming from. And if you look at the country and also the history that is being taught to us, they want to portray 1976 June 16 as if it was a one-person event. No one speaks about Tsietse Mashinini. No one speaks about Japie Vilankulu. And that's why we felt it's important to show that this was not a struggle of one person, but it was a struggle of many heroes. If it was ideal for me, we would honor each and every person who was there in 1976. So Japie is one of many heroes who died. Others are still fortunate enough to still be alive to tell the tale of what happened.
Just moving on a bit to other issues, particularly because this is a youth month. When you were elected a couple of weeks earlier, you said that you want to take advantage of the gap that has been left by the demise of the ANC Youth League. What, in your mind or understanding, has the ANC Youth League done that you believe you will take on and move forward with?
There is no ANC Youth League. I think that's where we must start. They died with Julius Malema when he left them. Even then, they were a party of empty rhetoric. The ANC Youth League has done nothing. And that's why I feel that we have a responsibility as the DA youth to reignite the spirit of people, young people like Japie Vilankulu, Hector Peterson, who said we will do each and everything in our power to identify a struggle that affects us as a generation. And if needs be, we are prepared to die for the struggle. Young people in South Africa currently are facing unemployment. And that unemployment is man-made because that unemployment comes from the Ramaphosa-led ANC government. So we need to stand up from different walks of life as young people to say the same way that the generation of 76 was able to unite in addressing their struggle, let us also unite to address this struggle that is affecting each and every one of us, despite of race, despite of gender.
In 2019, in the Northwest Province, the former youth leader of the Democratic Alliance, Luyolo Mpiti, said your structure will bring tangible solutions to young people. It's a couple of years later. Can you tell us what you have done? What are those tangible solutions that you have brought to the fore?
The DA youth currently, if you listen to my campaign, I said we are providing practical solutions. Some of them I will unpack them here on how we can address unemployment. But what we have done in this past 3 months, the first ever fight that we took to the ANC government was when they wanted to slash Afrikaans in the African style monument. We said you can never, as a government who wants to bring social cohesion, target one race and want to erase them from history, because today it will be about Afrikaans, tomorrow it's going to be about Xhosas, the next day is going to be about Zulus. So the DA youth was there in front of the struggle. We've been supporting John when he speaks about the fuel prices that are affecting us, because we understand if you increase fuel prices, you are directly increasing unemployment. Companies are going to close down, young people are going to lose jobs, and the DA is at the forefront of taking that fight to government. We have an advantage because the DA has got members of parliament, members of councils, members of legislatures. We are giving them a mandate as the DA youth to say, go and submit these motions in the councils that you serve. Go and submit these bills in the legislatures and parliament that you lead. And we are fortunate enough that we have a party that actually listens. So the DA youth is not just here as a youth wing. The DA youth is here as a voice for all South Africans from all walks of life.
And just one last thing, if you were to pinpoint in terms of those tangible solutions, in terms of job opportunities and jobs themselves, what can young people point to?
The first, what we've done, if you look at, I want to compare apples with apples. Let's take an ANC governed province and take a DA ran province. Western Cape has got the lowest unemployment rate. Young people are getting jobs in the Western Cape. This is because they invest in youth opportunity centers where young people can go and be trained and get an opportunity to get a job. The Western Cape understands that if you want to create jobs, you must create a conducive environment that attracts investors, and we are already doing that. When Mpho Balatsa took over in this city, she said, the first thing that she said was that we are going to take the fight to Eskoms. Secondly, we are going to deal with each and every entity that does not pay. We closed down government departments to say they must pay their electricity, because we understood that money is going to be used for service delivery. Service delivery means there are no potholes, there are no water leaks. Businesses are able to come and invest in the city. We are here today, there's JMPD. That is part of service delivery, because investors are looking for a place that is safe. So those are the tangible solutions that the DA does. Look at what our competitors do. They increase fuel prices. The president has got money stashed in couches. You go to the Eastern Cape, the first thing that they do, money goes back because they're not building houses. You go to Ekrebecha, where I come from, in Nelson Mandela Bay, there is no water because they do not invest in infrastructure. They are actively participating in ensuring that young people must never get a job.
Nicholas Nyati, actually before I let you go, you mentioned the mayor of Johannesburg. I understand that she will not be here. Quite interesting, because over the years, ever since you've been campaigning that this young man be honored here, all the leaders would be here. Interesting today that she is going to Soweto. Care to explain to us why?
When Mpho took the oath of office to say I will be the mayor of Johannesburg, she said she will be the mayor of everyone. She's attending in the Hector Peterson memorial site. On official council business, and we appreciate that. It further proves that DA politicians actually put the public office that they hold ahead of their own partisan politics. If it was any other political party, the mayor would have been here and forgotten about the residents, and that's the DA difference.
And it has nothing to do with the public space as we've seen on Twitter?
Nothing. I was there saying, Mpho, you are doing a great job. Helen was there saying, Mpho, you are doing a great job. The public space on Twitter are expected because residents have been hungry for change. The unfortunate thing is that whenever the DA governs, people want to see change now, and that's because they have hope in us that we can do it.
Nicholas Nyati is the interim DA federal leader, right? Thank you so much for joining us. Well, Yolisa, there you have it. We're expecting the national leader of the Democratic Alliance anytime from now, John Steenhuisen, Solly Msimanga as well, the Gauteng leader of the Democratic Alliance, and they'll be laying wreaths at the gravesite of Vilankulu, Japie Vilankulu. Back to you in the studio.